Hey y'all. I feel like I want to hit this up on the side or something. Hi Althea. Good morning or good afternoon. I was gonna say it's good morning for me, but good afternoon for you. But it is afternoon everywhere except for our folks on the West Coast. They got a couple more hours. I tell you what, it was so refreshing to talk to you just now. Hi, AKA Tootie. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Qween. I'm the content creator for Wisdom for Well-Beings, and Wisdom for Well-Beings, y'all, we are growing. Hi, Jasmine. Thank you so much for being a part of that growth. Thank you for showing up for yourself and coming in here right now too. Here's the thing. Wisdom for Well-Being, what it is a spot. It's the go-to for grown women. We're grown, okay? There's a difference, you know this, between being an adult and being grown, okay? Grown women who want to know how the goddess Adina, who want to know, how do I apply wisdom to my well-being? How do I get wisdom, okay? And when I say wisdom, I'm talking about spirit-led clarity, insight, and sound judgment that you can apply to the information that you're receiving about your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. Because you and I both know that going to a doctor in and of itself is fine. Yes, Tootie, that is right. But that's not it, because what's going to happen? You go to the doctor, and we love doctors in here. We have doctors that are part of our tribe who come in here live and teach us too. But just like you're teaching your daughters, what they're going to do, what these doctors will do for us is what they've been trained to do. I'm going to write you a prescription. I'm going to give you a regimen to follow. But guess what? Wisdom needs to be involved. Now, you may be blessed to have a doctor who is incorporating their wisdom, their faith, a higher level of insight into what they're doing. But when you got that, you can go with what you're being told, and then you have moments like this. You think to yourself, something told me to just stop eating such and such. And you think it's just an idea that you came up with, but that was wisdom. You see differences in your skin, in your body, and you're feeling so much more energized. That was wisdom that did that for you. It could be something with emotional and mental health. You decide, you know what? Something just is telling me to just turn my phone off and just, go for a walk. Or today I'm just going to take a hot bath and I'm just going to soak. These ideas that benefit your spirit, soul, mind, and body are not necessarily your original thoughts. As brilliant as you are, that is wisdom that's coming to you. So when we have these wise, well women like you come on and share with us, they're not just sharing what they've studied, and they're smart women too. They're not just sharing in their area of expertise. They're sharing their truth. They're sharing things that they learned the hard way. They're sharing things that have been revealed to them so that we can take that information and apply it to our well-being too. Hey, Josie, so happy to have you here. I can pray for you 24/7. Please do. And I love that handle, by the way. And that is what the purpose is. I'm getting ready to let our guest in here. Let me tell you something about why I asked her to come and talk to you today. She is someone who has not only been successful with her weight loss journey. Is anybody in here on a weight loss journey, by the way? Or something you desire, but maybe you've kind of like fell off of it a little bit, kind of set it aside to something you desire? Here's the thing that I really like about her story. She has maintained it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Tootie is. Anybody else? Okay, here's the thing about her. She has maintained her journey, her weight loss. Let me pin this for you. For 11 years. You know, I follow a lot of before and after type pages. I follow Black women losing weight. I follow Black women do workout. I follow Black fitness women, all these different ones, right? And a lot of times what you see, and I follow them because it's good for us when you're on any type of journey, any type. You want to see people who are being successful. So whether that's buying a house, whether it's something dealing with relationships or marriage, you want to follow those pages too because they're inspiring. So I follow these pages, right? But here's usually what happens. You see their before picture, their beautiful before picture, and then when you see their after picture, you're seeing a picture of something that happened recently. You're seeing it say something like, Sheila lost 50 pounds by blah, 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 blah. And then you see her last fall, and then you see her picture now. The picture she just took maybe a month or so ago. But here's what stood out to me when I was in one of those pages. I saw Althea, who is our guest. Let me start letting her in. And as soon as you see her face, y'all, and it talked about how she had lost 75 pounds. But the picture was a picture, hey.
Hi.
The before picture had happened over a decade ago. And that is what I thought, oh my goodness. Now that's a success story. Not just being on the heels of having done it, but you are living it year after year after year after year after year. Yes. So Althea, I am honored that you are here to talk to us about what it means to not just have a goal in mind. And again, this live it's kind of special for people who are on a weight loss journey or who are thinking about starting theirs over. How do you have a maintenance mindset? How do you think in terms of getting to the other side, not just the day to day? That's what we're going to be talking about. So how are you feeling today?
I am so blessed and I'm so excited to be joining with you live today. And I want to tell every woman on this live that you are beautiful and that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't you let no one tell you anything else.
Amen. Don't even let yourself tell
Absolutely.
you. I know that's right. So I was just bragging about you and talking about how not only were you able to commit to a weight loss journey that resulted in you losing 75 pounds, you have maintained it for over a decade.
Yes.
Can we give her some hearts, which is our equivalent of applause for that? That
Thank you.
is
Thank you.
awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey? So we got to step back to what, 20?
09.
9? Okay.
Yes. Yes. So in 2009, I realized that I gained a lot of weight, and I've gained a lot of weight. I was like maybe 145, 130, and then all of a sudden I gained a lot of weight, like around, a lot of weight. All I say is it was a lot of weight over a period of time. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with high blood pressure that year, 2009, and I was borderline diabetic, where the doctor decided to put me on medication, that I said, you know what, I need to make a change. So fast forward.
Wait, can you pause right there?
Sure.
Isn't it something that it took you having to hear from the doctor? Because otherwise you were on that trajectory. It took you having to be diagnosed as a diabetic to change.
Yes.
I think that's important to note, because we've heard some people say things like, some folks have to learn the hard way. And, you know, it didn't have to get to that, but we can all admit to times in our life where it took you almost having to, as my grandma used to say, almost having to run into a brick wall before you
Yeah.
got it.
Right.
So you get that diagnosis, and then did it hit you right then?
Well, when I got the diagnosis, when I left her office, I sat in my car and I cried and I said, you know what? I have to make a change. And me being a Christian woman, a praying woman, I believe in the power of prayer. And this was the first time where I invited the Lord to help me along this journey, because I was always the type of person that found some kind of diet to try. I tried so many different things. But it wasn't until this particular time when the Lord said, this is what I want you to do. He gave me wisdom. And as you do this, I'm going to take away those addictions that you have. And what it was that my church started a Daniel fast. And I will never forget, it was in January 2009. They started a Daniel fast. And it was for 21 days. And the Lord said, after the 21 days, I want you to continue on to complete 40 days. So I asked my pastors to pray for me and to cover me, because it's all about being covered. I believe so. And it's been 11 years now where I've been set free. I believe the Lord just set me free, because there was
you are among believers in here.
Yeah.
Hi, Joanne. Happy to have you here, because we know that there are some things that you can find yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
You could not get yourself out if you had a million years to do it.
Right.
I really do believe that me being delivered from a food addiction, emotional eating, binge eating, all those things, I like to look back and call it a rescue mission, Althea.
Yes.
I really do feel like I was snatched out. Like I would have destroyed my life in the same way that someone who had, a sex addiction, or or who was reckless with their money, or whatever the case may be, it was that deep. So I'm so glad that you pointed out that you you knew that it was a spiritual endeavor. Weight loss is above all a spiritual endeavor.
Yes.
So then you did the next 40 days of that fast. What was your focus then? And I'm only asking because I know that when we do like a spiritual fast, the focus is not to lose weight.
Well, for the 21 days, it was the spiritual fast. But when he told me to continue on, I continued to pray and fast. But my mind was set on making a lifestyle change. That's what I needed help. And that was my prayer. Lord, help me to make a lifestyle change, because it's not just about losing 10 pounds and then that's it. This is a lifetime continual journey. I continue on and on. Every day is a journey. Every day is a process. And I still get emotional now, because it's like, only God can do that. Only God can do that. Set a person free for so much a period of time. Like you said, people don't talk about that. And I wish I had someone like me when I was going through that. Because, I felt like I was a failure starting diets and not being able to complete it. I'm sorry if I get emotional, but just that this is real. This is really real. And when God delivers you from something, it's just so beautiful to be able to walk in that freedom and walk in that liberty. But I realized that it's not just for me, but it's for me to educate other women and to encourage them and to empower them that you can do it. You can do it. And it's not in your own willpower, but it's in his power. And that's just my testimony.
I love it. Can anybody relate? If you can relate, show some hearts or say me or do the hand emoji. It's so real. Because sometimes, unless you have been in the grips of the emotional and mental turmoil that can come with wanting to break free of something. And in our case, it was about this weight. Like that had always been my issue. And it's like, how am I able to do this? And why am I so successful over here? But I can't do this one thing. I could not do it. I absolutely could not do it.
Right.
It was supernatural. I really believe in supernatural weight loss. And when I say supernatural, I'm not talking about pleading the blood of Jesus against your belly
Right.
speaking to, I see so much foolishness out here, I come against, this, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, no, that's not how this works. It's going to be God's super, which is
Mhm.
giving you wisdom on what to do
Right.
day by day. Joanne is a great cook. I see her recipes a lot.
Mhm.
That would be God giving her insight into how to prepare a certain meal for herself if she was on a journey like this. Um, that's the supernatural part of it. And maybe you didn't read that in a book. You didn't get that
Right.
from
Right.
somewhere else. He's leading you step by step all along the way. Now, did
Yes.
you have support? Were you supported by your family and your friends and people at work as you were going through this?
Well, I was supported by my family, most definitely, of course, and my church family. But there were some people who I work with who found it to be kind of offensive to them. It's so sad. Why me losing weight is offensive to someone else? But I've been called you too skinny, you look unhealthy. These are things people actually say. But you know what? I realize that I cannot make someone feel comfortable with themselves by belittling my own self. So yeah, you hear those things, but you got to continue to go on, because pretty much that's their insecurity that they're trying to put on you. But the thing
Now,
is, yes, I had a lot of support from
now,
family.
did people, and I know what you're talking about, and hi,
Mhm.
Sean, great to see you back. Um, did the people, Sean says, people say these things to me as well. Did these same people, though, say anything to you when you were overweight about how you were eating or how you looked?
No, but they would say things like, "You looked cute when you was fatter." I mean, come on, for real. I mean, this is what I this this is what I've been told to you. I look
Well,
cute and I always had high self esteem. You know what I'm
and
saying?
you never said that you were ugly. I'm
Right.
laughing. I'm laughing because I occasionally will post a transformation picture. And Tootie, one time, one of the comments were, "You look better, bigger."
Right.
Now, first of all, I never said that I was ugly
Right.
because I've been cute for a long time,
That's
okay?
right.
I haven't always known it, but I was cute, okay?
Uh-huh.
And so the idea that being overweight, first of all, that's insulting. The idea that
Yeah.
being overweight means you're less attractive, that's an
Mhm.
issue in and of itself that I won't
Right.
get into because I'll
Right.
really get ready to throw some stuff because I can't stand that the bigotry of fat phobia. But
Mhm.
yeah, like the same people who had something to say. When I was 246 pounds, a size 22, nobody was saying anything to me about my body then. Nobody was trying to see what I had brought to work then.
Mhm.
But let there be some donuts and cake and cookies and fried chicken and pizza in the break room, and then you don't want any. Talk about what happens at work, Althea.
Well, the first thing is why you don't want any of this food. I mean, it's all about moderation, but because I know where I come from, you have to know where you come from first of all. I know I had a sugar addiction. Why would I tell myself to eat all these donuts because I know I'll go back to eating a whole box of donuts? You know what I'm saying? You have to change your mindset. But there's times when you just have to say no. And regardless of what they may think about it, it's okay. There's times we have Christmas parties and people would come in with the different foods and everything, and I would go to the salads or whatever. And they was like, "Why are you just eating that? You're already small now. You don't have to continue eating healthy." This is what people were telling me. You're already small now, but it's a lifetime journey. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop once you lose the 30 or 40 or 50 pounds. You have to continue on with the same mindset that got you to where you went to. You know?
It's so interesting. And Sean says, I think they weren't threatened then. It's a part of people making you small
Yeah.
inside. And it's so interesting because how all of a sudden now they're nutritionists, now they're food scientists, now you an expert. That's what I think. So you couldn't tell me this 100 pounds ago, but now you're just
Hmm.
concerned because I want to get tomatoes instead of the hash browns.
Right.
You know, Tootie says maintenance is much harder. She is right. I can't. We're gonna get into that, Tootie, than the
Yes.
actual weight loss, and people don't think about that.
Hmm.
But Shawnee, you can continue to add this in the comments because I'm really interested in what you guys, and thank you, Tootie, as well, for continuing to participate. You guys, this is our conversation in here, so
Yeah.
jump in with questions and comments. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? Put it in the comments. And Althea, what is it that activates people's insecurities when you are doing something with your life that's different? Because you're not doing anything to them, you're just doing something different.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's their insecurity, and it's their not feeling happy with themselves. Because if they was happy with themselves, why would they have to portray that, that negativity on me? So I believe it has something to do with them. And one of my favorite quotes is, "I refuse to dim my light because you can't handle my shine. I refuse to dim my light and who I am because you can't handle my shine. Get a pair of shades and deal with it."
I
you know,
love that. Get a pair of shades, deal with it. Oh my goodness. Hi, O'Neill. Thank you for being here. For those of you who kind of came in during the conversation, this is Althea of Vibrant Life Nutrition. She went on to become a nutrition coach. And so she's now sharing these principles that she teaches to help people in their own weight loss journey or wellness journey and maintenance journey too. The big thing is that not only did she lose 75 pounds, but she has maintained it for over a decade. Very, just so remarkable. And I just love how you continue to teach that. Now, something I asked her before we came on that surprised me. I thought, hi, Amber. I thought that maybe she had slid into a rhythm or a pattern, and that, after you've been doing something for a decade, you got this. Tell them what you told me when I asked if, okay, so this is just normal for you now.
well, I was telling her that every day is a challenge for me. Every day I wake up, Lord, I need your help to get through the day. You never get to a place where you said, wow, I lost 75 pounds. I arrived. That's it. Let me go back to what I was used to doing. No, every day is a journey. Every day is a challenge. And it doesn't get easy. Don't think once you get into the maintenance phase, it's like, okay, now I can relax, chill out. I can go here, eat this, eat that. No, every day is a challenge. Every day is a journey. So don't let someone tell you once you lose the weight, that's it. Every day is a process.
And I don't usually say this in mixed company, but since Tootie already said it, I'm going to say it. Weight loss is actually the easy part, because once you become more and more consistent in your weight loss journey, ladies, you're going to figure out that there's a science to it. Yes, the Lord will continue to reveal things to you. You'll continue to get wisdom, but you're going to figure out there's a science. There's a certain way to eat. There's a certain, like, how you should even be eating throughout the day. You'll learn things about, oh, high intensity interval training worked for me, or weightlifting works for me. I noticed that when I ate like this last week, I got these results. That kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's easy. Maybe the word I should have used was simple. You'll start to notice some things about it are simple. But one of the things you don't hear enough about is the maintenance. I wish I had known that, because I've lost 102 pounds. However, I have gained a significant amount of weight back. I went from a size 22 to a size 4, and now I'm a 12. And I'm not saying that I don't like it or that that's bad or anything like that. But I would like to be in at a 6 or 8, because I like that. And as Tabitha Brown, whom I love, would say, that's my business. Okay. So tell me about how you step on that scale, or you tried on that dress or whatever it was, and you thought to myself, whoa, I'm at my goal. This is where I want to be. What did you do that day and that next day that propelled you into maintenance?
When I realized that I was at my goal, I continued mentally to tell myself, continue to do what you've been doing out there. I never really got to a place where I celebrated and said, okay, let me go out here and get that brownie that I, you know what I'm saying? I just never got to that place because I know where I've come from when it comes down to sugar. And I know that I'm an emotional eater. So there was a point where I got to the point where my clothes size did change. I was excited. I was thrilled about it. But I never got to a point where it's like, okay, this is it. I can stop now. Like I said, every day is a process. It's a journey. And a journey is really a journey. You know?
Sean in the Sunshine says, drug addicts, let me look at this again, because this is a hard truth. Drug addicts can't go back to crack just because they haven't used in a year.
Thank you.
Tootie says, in the beginning, you have a goal, meaning you have an ending date or an ending weight loss number. So that's the easier part. But once you hit that goal, you realize the maintenance portion has no ending date.
Absolutely.
Let's get back to what Sean said about being an addict. You mentioned, and I'm only saying this because I don't think you mind getting into it. You mentioned that you think you had a sugar addiction at some point.
Yes.
Could you talk to us about what that looked like for you?
Yes. Well, I knew I had a sugar addiction because there was a time in my life where when I started my process, I wanted to stop eating a lot of sweets. And I remember being inside my bed, going through withdrawals. My body was shaking. I felt like I wanted to vomit. And I had a support person, which was my cousin, who I would call to let her know how I was feeling. And she told me, she said, Althea, you're going through withdrawals. I'm like, wow, I really feel like someone, because let's face it, food is a drug. You know what I'm saying? It's a chemical reaction. It's a drug. And like the person who just quoted, just like with any other kind of addiction, your body goes through withdrawals when you take that particular item from your body. So I knew that it was a withdrawal. I felt the signs of it. I felt like I just wanted to go back to eating that Snicker, go back to eating that honey bun. But it was a phase that I went through, and it lasted for maybe like 2 weeks with me, because that's how much of a sugar addiction that I had. And I was telling you before that with my sugar addiction, it even got to a point where I started breaking out. I developed acne all over my face. I would go to the doctor. He would give me injections. He would give me medication. But not once did he ever ask me, what does your food nutrition look like? And I'm like, wow. So I began to study my body. And we have to get to know our bodies, because you're the advocate for your body. You have to get to know your body. So as I began to learn about the addiction of sugar and what does it affects, one of the things was it does cause acne. You can develop acne. So I had to really eliminate that stuff. And it's been 11 years since I haven't had sweet. Now, if I eat anything, it may be like something I make myself. I'm talking about like blueberries with cream. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's all about mindset. It's all about mindset. And people ask me, well, okay, I'll say it's been 11 years. Why do you can't go back to eating that way again now? Because it's a journey. It's a process. You don't want to go back. That's like he was saying, a person who's been addicted to crack cocaine, you don't tell them after 10 years being free, oh, okay, you can have a little bit now. No, you just can't. I'm sorry. Because I know it would trigger. It's a trigger for me. So you have to know your body. You have to know your body.
And it's so interesting that you say that, because those of us who have had food addictions, it's not like we can go somewhere and it's not there. I can't think of any place I would go, and I think I'm speaking for this whole community that's on this live right now. I'm not going anywhere and people are like, hey, you want some of this crack? Just a little bit, not too much. Just, like that's not happening. But everywhere you go, there's going to be food. And in the faith community too, food is so much a part of that. What do you do after an event? When outside was open, you might go to the fellowship hall, or there's a celebration. If somebody's birthday is coming up, there's going to be a cake. There's going to be cupcakes. donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, whom I love, they started free donut Friday. So I had to get the donut. I mean, because it's free, right?
Hmm.
It didn't occur to me that I could just order the coffee and not get the donut. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, if food is your drug, it is a series of daily choices every day where I'm choosing not to take that hit.
Right,
John
right.
said, compliments help when losing weight, but when you're maintaining, the compliments have stopped and it makes maintenance harder. You have to set another goal besides a goal weight. I like that she pointed that out because you
Mhm.
cannot be dependent on the applause of
Right,
people because they
right.
can be so fickle anyway.
Hmm. Right.
You said in a recent post, and I have a note here about it, you said what we eat is half of the story of good nutrition. The other half is who we are as eaters. So are you suggesting that there's different types of eaters? So we can consider which type we might be? Like, what did you mean by that?
Yes. Well, as I was on this journey, I've been educating myself as far as the different kinds of eating. And I have a list here. I'll just read off the different kinds of eating. And if anyone wants to link to this particular website, I'll give you that. But it's one of them is emotional eater. There's a habitual emotional eater. That's me. You know, that was me. And you have to know where you fall at in between the line. The second one was a habitual eater, someone who often indulges in bad food under the fact of this is just an excuse to eat. You know, you become a habitual eater. The third one was external eater. That's the person who look at food advertisement and all of a sudden they want the brightest ice cream because they just seen it on a commercial. So that's an external eater. Then you have a critical eater. That's the person who usually criticizes other people regarding what they're eating. Those are the people I work with. Criticize other people what they're eating. And then you have a sensual eater, a person that's sensual, meaning that they like the feel of food, they like the taste of food, and they're just going to eat it just be eating it. And the sixth one is called an energy eater. This person focuses on eating healthy snacks and everything, and getting it in through the day. So you have it's a real good website that I have that I went on, and you learn different eaters. So I said that to say that we all eat things, but you have to know where do you fall at in between the line. And I knew that I was an emotional eater. You
Now,
know.
Keisha has me hollering over here. I had to keep from screaming. She said, I'm all of the above because me too, Keisha. Until you got to critical, I was like, okay, I'm all of these. Okay, I don't think I'm that one because I mean, hey, you know, people have to know their bodies. And then the energy one, I had not considered that one, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I feel like I probably have dipped off into all of those. Okay, so thank you for that. You guys can follow her, and I've pinned it at Vibrant Life Nutrition and get that information again.
Yes.
Here's what I want to know. So there are different eating strategies or eating lifestyles. And I'm saying it like that because most people who eat in the ways that I'm about to ask you about, they wouldn't
Hmm.
consider what they're doing a diet. Like when we think about, what is it called? When we think about like skinny teas, for example, like immediately in our mind, we know, okay, that's a fad diet. That's this. Like and that is no shade to anybody in here that's doing the tea. I'm just saying, for the most part, people will know, like, okay, that's not it. That's that. But then there are other ways that people might eat or are considering trying out, and I want to know what your thoughts are on them. I know you're not advocating for a particular one, and if any of you are doing one of these, maybe you can let us know how it has helped you. So why don't we start with talking about intermittent fasting? Now we're doing this, y'all, because some of you might be at the beginning of your journey and you're looking for eating strategies, or you've heard about these things, you want to know more. So could you kind of tell us what IF is and if
Okay.
there's a certain benefit of it or a certain drawback that you would say?
Okay. Intermittent fasting is not considered to be a diet, but it's a pattern way of eating. And there's different ratios that people do. They may do 8 to 16, meaning that they fast for 16 hours, and then they have an 8-hour window of eating. And then it may be, some people may do a 12 to 8 hour where they fast for 12 hours and then have it, it just goes on and on. But the thing is, intermittent fasting is a pattern way of eating. You're still eating the foods you used to eat, but it's just you're not eating a certain time. You eat like in between a window. I will say that kind of eating is okay for someone who does not have issues like binge eating, that kind of mindset, because it could trigger that and get you back into that particular place where you're binge eating, where you're not eating 6 hours, 12 hours a day. So therefore, I'm not going to eat all day long. I personally have been doing intermittent fasting for the past 3 years, and it works for me. It works for me. I've been doing the pattern of 16 to 8, where I fast for 16 hours, and I'm talking about the time when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you're actually fasting. So I fast for 16 hours, and I have an 8-hour window. It works for me. Everyone is different. You have to know what works for you and try it out. And like I said, with any of these diets that's out there, there's no one size fit all. Everything, what may work for you may not work for me. So you have to know your body and get to, work it out, see if it works for you. It's all about trial and error, pretty much. Trial and error. You try this. If it don't work, you try something else.
Could you talk to us now about keto?
Okay, with keto, I have I know a lot of people who've been doing keto. Keto is good, but it's all about, again, calorie restriction. Calorie restriction. I have one client who was doing keto, and she lost a lot of weight, but it wasn't something that she could sustain or continue to do. And eventually, after I finished seeing her, maybe like 6 months later, she started gaining her weight back. Because she did cut out she just you taking in a lot of fats. With keto, you taking in a lot of fats and a lot of protein. So therefore, you have to ask yourself, was that doable for her? Maybe not at the time. Maybe not. So like I said, with any of these diets, you have to really know what works for you and research it and get to know what it's all about. Because what they all have in common is that they all have some kind of caloric deficit, where lowering your calories to lose weight.
So it looks like whatever you choose, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to commit to that? Because when you reintroduce those things, you might be running into something.
Right.
Let's get over to, this will be the last one I'll ask you about. And if you guys have questions about a certain eating strategy, would you put it in the comments? And then I can ask her about that one too. Tootie says that she fasts for 18 hours and she has a 6 to 7 hour window. What about, let's say, vegetarianism?
Okay, well, it's funny because that's what I am. I'm a vegetarian, but
okay, so you're a vegetarian and you do IF.
Yes,
okay.
yes. But well, the thing is with vegetarianism, with me, I started out on it was like a little challenge. I was part of a challenge where someone said, let's not eat meats on Monday, because I love my meats. I used to eat meat every that's just what I would do. But it was a challenge where a friend said, let's do meatless Monday. So I did meatless Monday, and this was during my journey where I was trying to lose weight. I did meatless Monday, and no lie, guys, I felt so much better when I didn't have the meat. Me personally, I felt more energetic. I had more energy. I wasn't sluggish. So then meatless Monday became meatless Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what happened, I did it for a whole week without eating meat. And now it's been 10 years I haven't had no meat. And and I feel good. I feel good. I have energy. Now, do I encourage my clients to go that route? No, because everyone is different. It's not for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I felt better without it. I just felt better without it. But it was a journey. It was a process. It's been 10 years, and I still can't believe it's been 10 years. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it. So, like I said, it worked for me. And it's something that I find sustainable. I don't miss it. I feel better. I feel more energetic. And, everyone is different. Everyone is different.
So for those of you who are just coming in, this is Althea of Vibrant Life Nutrition, and she has lost 75 pounds and kept it off for 11 years. I continue to just be so inspired by your story because although a lot of us, you know, we love the before and afters, the transformations, we celebrate people. It's
Hmm.
so wonderful to see someone doing that over time. That's the thing. So let's talk about that maintenance piece, what it looks like from day to day. Are there certain things that you do the same way every single day? And if so, like, what are some of those things? Like, if you could give us three tips or three things to be mindful of, like, what are some of those things that play out in your life literally every day after a decade?
Okay, well, every day after a decade, I still do a lot of meal prepping. Okay, when I was
Okay.
when I work, I'm a school teacher, so when I go to work, I usually prepare my food and take it to work. But since I've been doing intermittent fasting, the times when I'm at work, it's my time when I'm fasting. So when I get home, I have my meal. But I still do meal prepping, guys. I still prepare my meals the day before or the day of. Um, my food is different than my family food. I'll cook for them, but my stuff is usually different. So these are the things I continually do. I continually give myself positive affirmations every morning. Tell myself, you are great. You're going to do this. You can do this. You're going to accomplish what you desire to accomplish. So I continue to motivate myself and encourage myself and know that I'm only normal. But one of the things I do that you guys might be surprised, I want to share with you this picture right here. This is a picture of my before and after. And this picture I
Oh,
laminate.
wow.
Yes, this is the before. I was like 224 pounds. And this is when I was like 135. But the thing is, guys, I keep this picture on my mirror every morning. Okay? It's a journey. I keep it on my mirror to remind me of where I don't want to go back to. So you have to constantly remind yourself of where you've been and where you desire to go and where you refuse to go back to. So it's the continual
Mm.
remembrance of where you've been at. I call it keep it green. Like they call it in the rooms, you have to keep it green. Never get to a point where you say, wow, okay, I did this and that's it. Keep it green. And I keep my picture before me because I need to know exactly where I was at before and where I want to continue to be at. So it's a process
Mm.
and it's something that I do, you know,
Mm.
and I've been doing it.
Wow. When you said that you make the different meals, is there anybody else on here where you do that? Because that is that's very impressive too. You said that you cook for your family and they have
Mhm.
their things, but it's very clear. So they get to see. So you're modeling that, you know, even
Yeah.
the people who don't live at your house, they
Mhm.
know if Althea comes to the cookout, there's a certain things like she may not have this, she might bring her own stuff to put on the
Yep.
grill. You don't even think about that anymore.
Right. Even for
Wow.
like Thanksgiving, Christmas, people know I'm going to bring my own meal. They know I'm going to bring my little bottles of juice. They know I'm going to have my healthy way of making collard greens, my healthy way of making
Mm-hmm.
sweet potatoes. They know that already. And that's the thing. People will begin to respect your lifestyle if you respect your lifestyle. You know, it's like dragging the screens on Queen Qing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, because it wasn't clear. Okay.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so yes,
So
and it's been after 11 years, I still do that, guys. I bring my own food, and people know I have my own certain foods that I eat. Even when I go out to restaurants, I'll have my avocado in my pocketbook.
wow,
I'll
that's
have
a
my
whole so you that's a whole nother level. Now my mama will have a hot sauce in her bag. So when I heard that line in that song a couple of years back, that wasn't new for me because in the South, I'm originally from the South, although I live in Chicago. It ain't nothing for somebody to have hot sauce in their bag, right? I will have some tahini in my bag because I love that seasoning, you know. You got straight up avocados in your bag.
girl, no lie, no lie, because I'm tired of people. I'm tired of these restaurants not having avocado. I don't want a slice. I want the whole thing. And so I'll pull it out. My husband look at me. He used to be down. You know, he used to be down. In most places that we go to, they know me as they know me. They know I don't eat certain foods. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm telling you, it's definitely a discipline. It's definitely discipline. It's definitely a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Do you guys have any questions for Althea? We'd be happy to ask those. If you have something that you don't want to share out with the whole group, you can click that little box down there where you see the question marks. I will see it. I won't even say your name out, and we can ask it to her. We welcome those things. So I'll give you a couple of moments to do that. I like how you said that your husband, he's just used to it now. Now, did you meet him when you were heavier, or did you, like, when you all got together, you started to gain weight? And if so, did that affect your relationship at all? Because unfortunately, sorry, y'all, espresso. Um, my mind is going faster than I can speak. Unfortunately, see, I beat it. There have been times that we've read about where women have struggled or not felt valued in relationships as their bodies changed, whether it was after a pregnancy or after a traumatic experience and some weight loss came, and they didn't have the support from their partner. So what was that like for you, if it was the case where you were gaining weight, or did he meet you when you were here? Talk about
Okay,
that.
I've been married for going on 27 years this year, and when I first
Wow.
met, yeah, thank God. When I met my husband,
Congratulations.
I was small. I was like 130. I was small, you know. So the kids didn't come to after that, but I was small. But I remember when I started gaining weight, he said he didn't realize it. When I showed him this picture that I just shared with the group, he said, "Wow, I didn't realize you was that big. Love is really blind." And that was, you know, that was like,
Mhm.
wow. So the bottom line, he loved me for who I was. You know what I'm saying? Because I was small when I met him, but it wasn't until like 2009 when I started gaining the weight. And even till today, he said I'm just an inspiration to him also. And he's one of my coaches. He's one of my partners. We work out together. We do a lot of things together. He's my best friend. And I believe that
Oh,
when
that's so wonderful to
they,
hear.
yes, he's my. I told him next time I do a live, he's gonna appear up here with me because he need to know. It was challenging for him to also to probably to see how I felt, but the love just never died out. You know, it just never died out. But now we work out together, we eat together, and he knows that his wife just don't eat certain things, and that's just who I
Mhm.
am. So
Wow.
I'm thankful that it didn't change our relationship. If anything, it brought us
Mhm.
even closer together. And he
Wow.
respected the
That
fact
is
that
beautiful.
you know, but Queen Q, I wanted to say that there was times when I used to get upset with him because I love honey buns. You know, the little Debbie honey buns. I used to love me some honey
Uh-huh.
buns, and he would come home with those honey buns. And there was one time when he didn't come home with a honey bun. I'm like, where's the honey bun? He was like, well, I thought about you. I said, no, you didn't. You didn't bring me a honey bun. He said, no, I thought about you out here. You say you're trying to lose the weight. I'm trying to help you. So he was really like a help. You know, he really was like a person that really tried to help me out. But I was kind of upset when I didn't get that honey bun because my mindset did not change.
Right. Right. You're like, don't help
Right,
me like that. Help me the way I want you to help me. Help me when I
right.
tell you to help me. Coming in here without a honey bun. How dare you?
But I'm so thankful for
Wow.
transformation.
You know, you reminded me of that film back in the day, well, 2000, Why Did I Get Married? And there's Sheila. Remember that character? Those of you who've seen the movie, the character that was played by Jill Scott.
Hmm.
And her husband was just so critical of her body, you know, and she know her, you know, it's a Tyler Perry movie, so of course
Yeah,
it, you know,
yeah.
had its raggedy parts in there. But one of the things that I love about that film is later when she meets this other man, he is really encouraging of this transformation that she's in, like with working out and walking and just just becoming free in her thinking and how that affected her lifestyle and things like that. So as you were sharing your story, it just made me think for those of us who are single, who might have these type of concerns, just to be encouraged to know that the man that's for you is going to
Right.
support you in that endeavor just like he would in anything else, and not even, not even think anything else of it, even if
Right.
that means not bringing you honey
Honey
buns.
bun.
Well, if there are no questions, y'all, we will wrap this up. Althea, I want to thank you for being here and for sharing your ongoing journey with us.
Yeah.
You guys can connect with her at Vibrant Life Nutrition. I've pinned it there. I'm going to let you have the last word to encourage someone who might be feeling like giving up, and they're not even sad about it. It may just be a, this is what it is kind of thing. I don't know, Oh, wait, a question. Then after we ask Joanne's question, then I want you to end with
Okay.
your encouragement
Okay.
for the people.
Mhm.
Okay. So Joanne says, I'm 66 years old. It is so much harder to lose weight now than when I was younger. Why is that?
Oh, okay. So pretty much as you get older, your metabolism, it does slow down. It slows down, and also your body for such a long period of time, your body is at a set point weight. So when you try to lose weight, your body has to make an adjustment, and that's a lot of stress that's being put on the body. So that's why I always suggest that you work with someone who can encourage you, who can give you different tips on how to eat right and how to change your eating pattern, because your body, it's not easy losing weight. It's not easy. And as like I was saying, your body's at a set point. So when you're at a set point, your body's going to continue to try to keep you at this point. So when you try to lose weight, it's going to try to bring you back to your set point, which is the weight that your body used to be in. So it's not easy, Joanne. It's not easy, but it can be done. It can be done. And don't think because you're 66 that it's too late now. It's not too late. It's not too late. I have my mother who's 8. Well, my mother will be 70 years old in November. Just by changing her eating habits and working with me, she lowered her A1C count, which is, tell you how much sugar's in the body, and she's a diabetic. So the doctor had lowered her medicine, he lowered her insulin and told her to continue doing what you're doing. So it can be done, honey. It can be done. You can work it, and you have to believe that you can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And P.S., that metabolism slowing down is exaggerated by people. It's only about 5% every decade, not every year.
Right.
So be encouraged. I was 41 when I started my weight loss journey. So anybody that's 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, there are people in their 70s and 80s looking better than they did at 30,
That's
feeling
right.
better than they did 15 years ago. You got this, grown women. Wise, well women, you got this. You can do this. So again, thank you, Althea. And I'm going to turn it over to you for some final thoughts.
Well, I just want to say, ladies, like I said in the beginning, you are beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you can do whatever you desire to put your mind to. Think about the things that you have done in life that you felt like it was hard, but you accomplished it. The same thing with weight loss. You can get it done. It just takes some time, and it doesn't happen overnight. But I want to pray and encourage you to be patient with yourself and know that whatever you desire to do, you can do it because the power is within you. God bless you all and have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to call you right after this, and y'all get out there and have an amazing Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, y'all. See you next time.